Hello and welcome back to the Spoilercast, the show where we talk about movies and we don't care about spoiling them. However, today we are going to have a big spoiler warning before we get into spoilers, just so you know, it's that kind of movie. My name is Tobias, and with me as always is my sister and trusted co-host Rebecca.
Hello.
Hello! Today we're talking about a newish movie, came out like a week or two ago. Yeah? It's one that I feel kind of has flown under the radar because it's a streaming movie. Yeah.
Actually, it came out about almost 3 weeks ago now.
Oh, geez. Okay. It's one that probably will disappear because there was very little promotion, and that's kind of why we want to talk about it. Because spoilers for the rest of the discussion. It's pretty good, I suppose.
Yeah, it is.
Today we're
you were just making sure.
Yeah, exactly. Today we're talking about the mysterious thriller Caddo Lake. Yes, starring, of course, Dylan O'Brien, and what was the girl called?
Eliza Scanlon.
Scanlon. Yeah, exactly. It's about a girl who disappears on Caddo Lake, one of Texas's few real lakes, natural lakes.
Looks more like a swamp to me, but sure.
Yeah, but it is. I guess it's technically a lake.
Yeah.
And this kind of sparks like
chain reaction.
A chain
of
reaction
random
of
things.
of past disappearances and deaths. There might be a connection between them. And more than that, we won't say. And Dylan O'Brien and Liza Scanlon start digging into it to try and figure out what the heck is going on Caddo Lake.
I always want to say Lake Caddo, but it's Caddo Lake.
Caddo Lake, yeah. It's written and directed by Logan George and Celine Held.
Yes.
Two people I don't recognize the name of. Have they done anything else?
They
have done some stuff.
Yeah.
They worked on Servant, so yeah, they are M. Night Shyamalan alumni.
Which is why he produced this movie.
Yeah, exactly. And they, I guess, I see they worked on exactly the same things. So I guess they're
a duo.
They're a team. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it's always Logan first as directors, and no, it's not the same here. I said on one of them at least. It's like, oh, Logan's the director first and then Celine, and then on the writers is the opposite. No, it wasn't on that one.
Maybe they're even like a family, because I see a picture here from the premiere of another movie they made, or a short film they made called Caroline from South by Southwest. South by Southwest, I can say that. And they're holding a bunch of children, so I'm guessing maybe that's their children.
Could be.
I haven't looked. There's no trivia, so I have no idea. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, they put this little movie together, and M. Night Shyamalan said, "I'll produce it, and we can sell it to a streaming site." And even though the movie will flop, which it probably would have, I just get that feeling. If this was in theaters, it would have flopped. They can still make the production cost back, and everyone can get paid. It feels like that kind of a movie. Like they had an idea. This obviously comes from some sort of. I'm not going to call it a passion project, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, they had this idea of the thing.
Yeah.
And then just built on that.
Yeah, they
probably for a while.
Yeah, they had the idea, but the thing was like, I get the feeling that Shyamalan's producer brain kicked in and said, "This is never going to get greenlit for a huge budget and for cinematic release. It's just isn't that kind of movie, but we can make it on a smaller budget and sell it to streaming sites." That's the feeling I get, and they're like, "All right." That's not a detriment though. Because, like I said, we haven't even talked about that yet. I'll tell you this before I ask you. I like the movie quite a bit.
God, my chair is squeaking if you can hear that. Sorry. Yeah, no, me too. I thought it was great. I thought it was... God. I also am biased because I love Dylan O'Brien, and he's finally in a big role again.
Yeah.
Even though it's a small movie.
Small movie, yeah. Yeah, and I like him. I like him too. So I'm glad to see him do more stuff.
And my favorite movie, one of my favorite movies of all time, is one that M. Night has only been producing and never actually, like, he wasn't directing it. We've said that many times. Devil.
Ah, yes.
The elevator movie.
This could have been part of the Night Chronicles.
Yeah.
Just like The Watchers could have been. They could just put that. I don't know. Maybe it's a legal thing or something. I don't know. Or maybe it's just like, well, it was 14 years ago. Let's not
bring that up.
Let's
again.
not confuse people. Yeah. But I mean, this is basically this and Watchers. Even though I didn't really like The Watchers at all. Yeah. This is it's the rebirth of the Night Watch franchise or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's little mystery movies.
I feel like this one could have done
character stuff
so well, though, if they just promoted it more.
There are a couple of things.
Not like it's not scary. The trailer is kind of vague, but it's vague in the good way. Like, it's mysteriously vague.
Yeah.
And it looks good even in the trailer.
Sure, yeah. That's why I wanted to check it out.
Yeah. Like, there's nothing obviously bad about it.
No.
Compared to Watchers that had this weird premise that... no, it didn't look bad either until you actually watched the movie, to be fair.
Yes.
So I guess that's... It looked cool, that one too, but then it just wasn't.
That one completely falls apart in the end. It becomes schlock.
Yeah, but that's because of the lore they threw in there.
Yeah, this one
keep
one
the lore straight and kind of simple.
Yeah, the plot and the lore, as people like to call it, is kept vague enough that it doesn't get in the way, but also it's enough there for us to, like, we're invested in the mystery.
Yeah. I also love how they don't actually straight out say the words, really.
Yeah.
They just show it, and they're like, so I did understand it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and that it in the end reaffirms what you kind of suspected in the beginning, that this is really a character-driven story. It's about the people. It's about the trauma.
Yes. It connects.
Yeah. Why I think this, because it didn't get great reviews on Metacritic.
No.
First of all, it only has seven critic reviews, once again, because nobody knew when the movie came out.
No.
It has a 55, so it's average, slightly above average.
Yeah, lowest is a 40.
Yeah, and the best they got is a 78 from the Wrap, saying it's intelligently crafted and falls together quite well, despite a narrative that turns complicated quite quickly. You are safe in writer-directors Logan George and Celine Held's hands. Sorry, they've thought it all through. Yes. However, what I think is the weakest part, and what I think a larger audience would not like about this, is that it becomes very confusing in the third act.
Yeah,
and it's very stressful. Throughout the entire movie, it's not a super long movie. It's like an hour 40 something
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a movie that definitely could have benefited from a bit of a slower pace.
Yes.
It could have been just about 2 hours. Like, add 20 minutes to the runtime, where we have more character stuff, because we're introduced to all the characters, but almost immediately the search for the little girl starts. And I mean, even before that, the mystery from the other side of it, so to speak, the Dylan O'Brien part of the story, has already kind of started. And he very quickly starts, like, connecting dots to his mom who died in a car accident.
Yeah.
And when without spoiling anything, when the mystery starts unraveling, and some crazy stuff starts to, like, show up, he's never, like, questioning it, like, what? He just immediately okay, so this
to
and
him
this
it
and this
kind of
correlates.
makes sense.
It all makes sense. Are you sure, Dylan? or Paris, as he's called? Are you sure?
Yes, Paris.
This all makes sense to you? Are you sure about that? But he goes with it, and of course, he's right.
There might be an explanation to that, sort of, and also I think it's just wishful thinking kind of thing. He just goes, yeah, I just needed an answer, and this is the answer I'm going to go with. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure. But then
it's one of those things where I don't care what the explanation is. I just need an explanation. As a person, I mean, not in a movie.
Yeah. But imagine if he kind of questioned what he's first found. He never questions it. He just goes with it immediately. If he had
true.
like a couple of scenes where he's like, no, it can't be. But then he finds another thing that confirms his suspicions. He's like, oh shit,
Like when he notices the pattern, he just goes, there has to be a logical explanation for this pattern, right? Like it can't just be that. And he spent a few moments researching that pattern more until he goes like, there's no other explanation. There has to be a connection somehow.
And there could have been a little more focus on his girlfriend, whatever her name was, from Houston.
Yeah.
Estelle? No.
Celeste?
Celia?
Celeste? I don't remember. Something with a C-E.
Celeste.
Well,
the other ones are Ellie and Anna. It's Celeste, right?
Yeah, but she has a nickname as well.
Oh, right. Because, whatever.
Shut up.
Her name is, it's another name.
Celeste. Celeste is her real name.
Hey! Yeah, I guess it is. But,
yeah, it is.
That's spoiler.
Is it?
It is. Oh. Maybe, okay. You know what?
Let's start talking. Wait, how long have we been talking?
I think we're going to have to start doing spoilers then, because how long we're
like 10 minutes.
We're 10 minutes.
But we can talk a little bit more about the technical stuff.
Okay, yeah, we'll get back to that.
Yeah.
First of all, the acting is great from everyone.
Yes.
There's
including the kid.
Yes, no award-winning performances here, but everyone is good. Everyone is taking it seriously. Everyone gives, convincing performances.
Yes.
There
are no like super deep monologues or anything that could also warrant like award-winning performances. Really,
the
they're
big
just
award speech.
normal people here. Really.
Yeah. I guess it's also one of those just like I wish there was more focus on the characters in the beginning and not going so fast into the mystery. I get the feeling that without the mystery part, this could have been like a great, like southern drama, like
slice of life.
my child's gone. Well, you're a drunkard, mom. Hey, don't say that about me. That kind of movie that could have won Oscars.
Yes,
but then I had to put a damn sci-fi fantasy mystery in there, or horror movie, whatever you want to call this. I'm not really sure what it is. Not really a horror movie. Well, a little bit.
Shut up again.
Yeah, sure. But imagine if we had longer, because that's also like the editing. It feels like this was, like, once again, the producer side saying like, we need to cut this faster. We need to get this down to 90 minutes. We need to sell this hard. I would have loved more scenes of people just sitting around, not doing
like when
anything.
he talks to his girlfriend in their not finished house.
Yeah, exactly. But
more of those scenes.
More of that. More with
more
the mom.
of the family dinner scenes.
Yes. More of that. Because that's the first like 20 minutes, and then we're kind of done with that for the most part.
Yeah. Speaking of cutting, I watched this on the Max app.
Yeah.
There were 2 times in the movie where it cut so abruptly and strangely that I thought there was something wrong with the video file, basically.
I don't know. I watched it on my browser on the computer, but I didn't notice anything. Is there anything you can mention without spoiling?
No, I don't remember exactly what happens. It's I just went, that was abrupt. That was a strange cut. Like they had cut out a scene or something, and they didn't blend it properly. Like, how it's, even if it's a quick cut, it's never really, like there's some sort of transition, like a minimal transition. You just didn't have that.
You usually have some sort of establishing shot, like you're cutting from them in the house, like, oh my god, my daughter's gone. Cut to him in his house. You film the outside of the house, then you film him in the house.
Yeah.
To kind of we've moved places now. Now we're here.
Exactly. There were 2 times we just had absolutely nothing happen. I'm gonna see if I can find where that was, because it was at one point when he was talking to his girlfriend. I think it was when that scene kind of ended.
Could it be because of what happens that you?
That's what I'm wondering.
They kind of wanted to, I can't say more. Damn it.
No, I know, but I'm trying, Jesus Christ, because the thing is, when I watch it I watch it on my pad, on my tablet. So you don't really see what time it is. I just saw what time was left, which is annoying.
You're watching movies on your phone? Get real.
No, on my tablet, on my...
You can't watch a movie on your fucking phone.
Right, here it goes.
That's a David Lynch reference, sorry.
Just after, during the family dinner, I think it is, and when it cuts back to him and his girlfriend, they're just in the kitchen, and then quick cut to Paris and his girlfriend in his like caravan or whatever he lives in.
Bad.
There's no... it's at the 1730 mark. If you want to look it up. There's no establishing shot. There's no like smooth transition. There's no not even like a millisecond of a black screen in between. It's like when you cut YouTube clips together and you just don't do a transition.
Well, there can't be a black screen in between because then that
no, but you know what I mean.
Left.
Like there's always this like you can blink or something, but there's not even a blink. It's like right there. It's so weird.
I think it's on repeat watch is supposed to signal that it's
something has happened.
It's different.
Yeah. Possibly yes.
Yeah.
I thought of that, but it's like they only use it twice though, which is kind of strange.
Yeah. Well.
That was like my only issue, I guess, because I was like, is this something they did wrong? Because it looked so out of place.
No, like I said, the the editing is pretty frantic throughout the movie.
Yes, that's true.
So that might just be that it felt extra jarring in that moment.
Yeah, probably.
I also couldn't really. That's not really a bad thing. But it's just something I noticed. I couldn't really place where the movie was supposed to take place. It takes place in Texas, which you find out later in the movie when they actually start mentioning Texas. And I mean, they mention, I gotta go back to Houston. I mean, this could still be a neighboring
It could be in
state.
another state. Yeah. That's fine.
Because Texas, you usually think of Texas as it's in the south.
Horses and cattle.
Yeah, first of all, it's much more dry. You think of Texas more of a desert state, which it's. Yeah. I mean, and. Yeah, it mainly is, but this is one of like 3 actual lakes in Texas. And Texas is pretty big. But yeah. But also the fact that it always felt kind of overcast and raining, and you never see that in Texas movies.
That's true.
It's not very characteristic for a movie taking place in Texas. But hey, I mean,
Texas does also have coastline though.
Yeah, of course. Yes, it does.
I never thought of, if I'm being honest.
No, yeah, because the state is so big, and I think most people live more inland. Yeah. On the ranches. But so and since you mentioned, they're in a swamp basically. So I was like, is this like more? I don't know which way to go. Like, is it more like Louisiana or?
But it might be on the border of Louisiana.
Yeah, it might be because they are neighboring.
Yeah, they are. For partially at least.
Okay, so then that might be more it. So you think or New Orleans? I mean, it had a little bit of a True Detective vibe with how it looked, and I mean, it's a mystery taking place in a swamp. It's very True Detective season 1.
Yes.
Well, I guess that's where the similarities end, but aesthetically, it was very True Detective season 1. But I mean, that's not a complaint. It was just like, oh, this is Texas? Okay. Fun though, they didn't make up the lake. Caddo Lake is a real lake. Like one of like very few real lakes in Texas.
It is. I'm sorry, I just had to look. It is close to the Louisiana border.
Okay. And that we can discuss that before we get into spoilers. Also,
it's the next one that I recognize. The next big city I recognize is Shreveport.
Shreveport, Louisiana. Shreveport, Alabama.
Technically, I think. Yeah, that's part of Louisiana. Technically.
Louisiana, okay, yeah, because Shreveport is it's one of those names you recognize.
Hey, Lake Caddo actually crosses over the line from Texas to Louisiana, so that's why.
Makes sense. No, wait. I was gonna see because also since they
that's Karnak. I found Karnak.
Yeah,
the city they're in.
That's also kind of funny because Karnak isn't that like a name of like isn't that the realm of the dead in Egyptian culture? Karnak spelled Carnac, Karnak, isn't it?
I don't know that actually.
I recognize the name.
There's a commune in France called Karnak with C's.
Karnak.
Karnak.
Here's where. But what I wanted to look up more than that was, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, Karnak with K's is a temple in Egypt. So
that is a temple.
That's probably what you're thinking about.
Yeah.
But spelled the same way.
Okay. Caddo Lake. I wanted to find out if, since they picked a real lake,
yeah,
is Caddo Lake known as like a place where a lot of mysterious things happen? And that's why they picked it. I didn't look into it, but just googling it now. The one thing I found on Wikipedia,
I just got a bunch of fishing stuff.
the one thing I found on Wikipedia is that the Texas Bigfoot is connected to Caddo Lake. It says, since 1965, Texas Caddo Lake has been the center of hundreds of alleged Bigfoot sightings. According to the North American Wood Ape Conservancy, NAWAC, this was reported in the Travel Channel 2006 documentary Bigfoot.
There is a radio show that talked about the mysteries and legends of Caddo Lake, tales from this enchanted swamp between Louisiana and Texas.
Okay, yeah. Wait, was it a podcast? It's a radio show?
It's a radio show, I think. KPEL 965.
Oh, I wonder if you can find that on YouTube. That would be interesting.
They talk about the Weeping Woman of Caddo Lake, Cypress Cindy, the lake monster of Caddo Lake.
Ooh.
Ghostly reflections in the water in general.
Okay. So maybe that's why they chose, like, there's actually an air of mystery about Caddo Lake. So that's why they picked it instead of making up a song.
The Millie Stevens disaster tragedy turned to legend. In 1869, when someone...
Huh?
Wait, what? The Millie Stevens must be a place. Caught fire while traveling on Caddo Lake, resulting in the death of 64 people.
Maybe it's a boat?
And now they haunt the lake's waters.
No. Okay.
And yeah, a lot of people are obviously getting lost in the swamps because, hello, look at it.
It's a giant swamp, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, with weird trees and shit.
Well, so now you know.
Now we've dragged it out.
Exactly. Now you know a little.
No, but we didn't like finalize what we thought of it. I still think I thought it was a really good movie. I watched it while working, which is usually a mistake. Either means I don't pay attention to the movie, or it means I don't pay attention to my work. This case, I didn't pay attention to my work.
Okay, yeah.
At all.
Yeah, it was.
So if anyone I work with heard this, sorry.
It immediately grabs you.
Yes.
I gotta say, the first, although I might have I saw it wrong, because the first scenes of the movie are Dylan O'Brien waking up in a car full of water.
Yes.
And then next to him, I guess that's supposed to be his mom, right?
Yes.
But it looks like a little girl. I thought, and I was just immediately, oh my god, more children dying? Haven't we had enough of that in October?
I think I mentioned to you also that there is something about a little girl going missing or something. I mean,
that's the main story.
FYI, be warned.
Yeah. But yeah, it like we said, since it moves at a pretty brisk pace, it quickly gets into the mystery, and the mystery is the main drawing point here.
I both like and dislike that it goes quickly into the mystery, because sure, you'd like to to know the characters a little bit more maybe, but at the same time you can't wait too long when it's this kind of a movie.
No.
Because then it's just like, okay, so you're just gonna find her and then it's done?
Yeah.
Like, you need to spend time looking. You need to make people desperate, basically.
And once again, I feel that, like, no disrespect to Celine Held and Logan George, but I feel this movie, as good as it is more content than it is a movie. Like we said, like it's quickly edited to make sure that you don't click off and watch something else, keep watching The Office or whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
And I mean, yeah, it's relatively short, so you don't like get bored and start scrolling on your phone instead of watching it. Not that matters. As long as it's
I
on,
like when there's about 140 long. That's
sure.
I don't
mind that either. But I'm just looking at the formula here. It's prime like streaming platform just fodder. Now it happens to be pretty good.
Yeah.
But in the end, it's just to fill out. We need some more content. Yeah, we'll give you $10 million to make your fucking movie.
Yeah.
Which is sad. Because I think this had the potential to be better.
Definitely.
Not that it was bad, but it could have been better.
Really good movie.
Sure.
I haven't rated it yet, but I'd probably it's not a 5-star, obviously, but it's a 3.5 for me at least.
I was thinking about a 3. I saw a lot of people actually gave it like 3.5s and 4s on.
I was thinking of 4, but
Letterboxd.
There are some issues that when you talk about it, you realize more.
Yeah, and like I said, it wasn't impactful enough for me to be like, to feel it in my, except for the end. But we'll get to that.
Yes. So speaking of the end,
spoilers from here on out. Major spoiler warning, because this is one of those movies.
Yes,
because it's a
we
big
are going
mystery,
to talk about everything. We're going to reveal the mystery straight away. We're going to talk about details. We're going to talk every detail, basically.
Yeah. So you have been warned. From here on out,
if you haven't seen the movie, stop.
Yeah.
Go watch it.
And then come back, of course. And if you don't come back, at least, leave a like, leave a comment, tell your friends and family, check us out on patreon.com/don'tmakescene.
All that
All that stuff. But now, spoilers. You have been warned. Spoilers.
Yes.
Now, when Dylan O'Brien drowns in the end.
Yes.
Thank you. I can do it again. I can do it. Good. No. Yes. Well. Yeah.
We could start off with the first one because you almost spoiled something when you just talked about the beginning scene, the opening scene that you were confused about. Because the fact that you thought you saw a little girl in the driver's seat is kind of telling.
Well, it is his mom.
It is his mom, but the little girl is his mom.
Yes. Here we go. This was a little bit confusing. So,
yes.
Should we try to right off the bat,
the timeline?
Like try to like unravel it to try and sort of tell it in the right order, so to speak?
Do you want like the right order as in how it happened?
No, in a chronological
or the right order as in the movie, the way the movie showed it.
No. Well, that's the thing, because what this is, and it's kind of, I kind of figured it out pretty early on in the movie. I was like, this has to do, it's a time travel thing.
Yes.
There is a time anomaly going on in the middle of Caddo Lake. When the tide is low.
Sheep herds or something. They call it something.
Found herd.
Area.
Yeah,
found herd. Yes.
Yeah, which is kind of funny because they're all looking for someone, and I found herd.
Yeah.
Found herd. Anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a thing. Yeah. So it's a time travel thing. People disappear because they're out of space, out of time.
They walk into this anomaly and don't know themselves what happens, and they can't really explain it,
Yeah, they pop out in another year, or sometimes it's just a few days. That's a confusing thing.
It's never established like how that is decided, I guess.
Yeah, which I mean that's the whole thing. It's just an anomaly. You could pop out anywhere. But at one point, Dylan O'Brien even says like, "I can go back. But yeah, you can, but you'll never be able to control it.
It seems like you can if you go in the right direction, though.
Yes, if you go back to where you walked into the time anomaly, you're spit out in your time again, so to speak.
So it's like if you just go like a few degrees to the left, you're gonna end up somewhere else. It might be like a wheel, every piece of cake is another year or something.
Yes, that's what I feel too. Like you have a circle, and if you enter at the bottom, you enter from 2022. It takes place in 2022.
Yeah.
And if you walk straight in and then straight out, you come out in 2022 again. But if you walk straight in and then go out to the left, you end up in 2005.
Or if you go to the right, you end up in the 50s.
Yeah, and I'm guessing there's so many degrees. I mean, there's 360 degrees. You can end up in 360 different years, maybe, or whatever,
Or something like that. Or it depends on who you are, and there is a connection to these specific people. Somehow.
Might be two.
And you only get spat out in specific years because it has significance. Significance? Is that the word? Yes.
Yes.
To these people and their lives.
Yeah. Then it becomes more, then it's less scientific, if you will, and it's more fantastical.
Yes, more fantasy. Which
I'm
I'm fine with.
Yeah, sure, I'm fine with. And once again, because this is, I can excuse that they don't explain the time travel at all because it is
because no one understands it.
Yeah, but it's character driven. We don't. It's a vehicle for them to kind of mend their their broken familiar
families.
Yeah, exactly. It's not about figuring out the time I gotta go back to so I can, whatever.
No, it's about accepting your fate. It's
finding peace in knowing
finding peace in what happened.
They disappeared,
in your life,
but they're fine,
They didn't leave us. They didn't do it on purpose.
They didn't actually, they didn't run away. They didn't die. Well, technically, she did at one eventually, but she lived a pretty long life. But when they start running back and forth through time, trying to like, I think I can figure it out, and they start being spat out in very different times, and at that point they haven't explained yet that we're watching the movie from two different times from the very beginning.
Yeah, we don't get to see anything that kind of hints at that even.
No. Yeah, there's no
technology that gives it away or like.
Yeah, we see smartphones in Ellie's and Anna's time, but we never see Dylan O'Brien or Paris use a phone. The closest we get is his dad watches a TV and it's an old TV. But I mean, he's an old guy in the swamps. He might not have the latest TV.
He can use an old TV.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that way, they masked it pretty well. But like I said, there was. Pretty early on, not that I figured out that they were in different timelines. That came a little bit later. But the moment when he first discovers the time anomaly, when he's following his job is to they're working with pipes or something. There's a faulty pipe and they're following it. Like, this pipe shouldn't be here.
No, I think they're salvaging metal and stuff.
Maybe, that might be true. Yeah,
and like demolishing, I guess, to clean it up.
Right. When he's following the pipe from the boat, he jumps out of the boat, and it's like, I'll follow on foot. And the guy's I'll drive around, and we'll meet on the other side. When he walks into the time anomaly, he starts hearing it's weird here, and then he steps out, and when he comes back to the boat, his friend or his work partner, or whatever, goes like, "Where were you? Where have you been?" And it's like, so he was gone much longer than a second that he was in the movie.
Yeah.
I was like, this is something to do with time.
Yes.
I don't know exactly what it is, but it's something to do with time. And then it's confirmed when Ellie comes back and sees herself arrive at her parents' house when Anna has gone missing. It's like, oh!
Yeah. But see, as soon as I saw the two different timelines... as soon as you saw Paris and I think you see his girlfriend before you see Ellie's mom, right?
Yes. That was also...
And when they mentioned something about, when she started looking for the death certificate.
Yeah.
She's like, when someone's been gone for 8 years, they're counted as a dead person.
Yeah.
I was like, he's her dad.
Oh, you immediately connected it?
Yeah.
There? Oh, okay. I didn't do that.
That's like the 26-minute mark or something.
No, that's much earlier. I think no, that's much earlier. That's before he even finds the anomaly. That's like 5 minutes in.
It's the 15-minute mark or something, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because
that's when the dinner starts and all that stuff.
Yeah, okay, I did not... You immediately connected that?
Yeah, I was like, he's her dad.
What?
He has to be.
Okay. I wasn't that fast, but since I knew something to do with time, and then I realized, so a dad went missing from the two girls, and the redhead mom, the long red hair.
Yeah, the long ginger.
And then I was like, and he has a very, fair-skinned, redhead, long flowing hippie hair girlfriend. I was like, that's very convenient. I was like, are they the same person?
I was looking at them going like, is it the same actress? But it's not.
No, it's not. No. Because one is like in her 20s and the other one is in her 40s.
Yeah, I thought it was just makeup or something.
Too good.
But that would have been too obvious as well, I think.
Yes, of course, yeah. Because then you would have questioned it immediately. You're like, why is she playing both characters? Okay, so, well, where this becomes more convoluted, though, is that... So we have the two... We need to explain the two families, so to speak.
Yes.
You have the main character, Paris, Dylan O'Brien, and Ellie, Lizzie Scanlon, whatever her name was.
Ellie Scanlon, what was it? Eliza
Scanlon. All right. Now.
Ellie Eliza, yeah.
Yeah. So, Eliza has grown up with her single mom because her dad ran out on her mom right as she became pregnant.
Yeah.
And then
I think before she managed to tell him even.
Yes. And at one point, a couple of years later, she thinks she meets up with the woman who he ran off with. And, they kind of have a tussle in the parking lot.
Scuffle.
Yeah. And he says, like, tell him he has a baby. Tell her he's a father,
Yeah.
But yeah, she grows up as a single mom. Eventually meets someone else, a little bit of an older guy. Has a child with him called Anna.
Yeah. Well, no. Anna's not her daughter. Anna's his daughter.
Oh, okay. From a previous relationship.
Yes,
okay.
from a previous relationship.
Fair enough. But yeah, I think, because she obviously, they mentioned she has struggled some with alcoholism. And I think now that she's with this new family, they still talk about...
She's doing better.
Yeah, but she's still drinking, though. She's God, how many beers you had today, Mom? When she runs off in the beginning.
Yeah, but
I think she's managing
doesn't
it
lash
better.
out.
Yeah. So, yeah, these two girls, though, have a pretty strong bond. Since they both miss their respective parent that is gone from the relationship.
Found family kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. So, and this is... the little girl is called Anna. What, she's like 8, 9?
8. Yeah, 8.
One day, Anna disappears. Right after a big fight that Ellie and her mom, Celeste, had. Mm-hmm. Which they have like every month, basically.
Apparently.
Yeah. So she disappears and everyone has to start looking for her, but they can't find her. They eventually find her boat. But that's it. Yeah. At the same time, so to speak, you have Paris, who, when he was younger, like a few years before the movie starts, he's in a car accident with his mom. She has a seizure, which she has not very often, but she has like a few times a year, maybe she has a seizure. Or not even that, sometimes.
Not even that. Sometimes it's been years between.
She drives off a bridge. They land in Caddo Lake.
Yeah.
He manages to get out, but she's stuck. And he can't get her loose, so he has to swim out. And he is having, survivor's guilt from that.
Yes.
So he's kind of distanced himself from his dad and pretty much everyone, He gave up on the relationship he had with this girl, the redhead girl, which they don't mention her name at the beginning.
No.
And they even had they were starting to build a house and everything, but it never, it kind of stopped. He's in Arrested Development because he can't get over the death of his mom. And he feels kind of responsible because he couldn't save her.
Yeah.
But yeah, then he discovers this weird thing out in the lake when he's following the pipe during work. And something's, oh my God, something with my ear, something went wrong, And he finds a necklace which reminds him of his mom, because his mom used to wear this. First of all, it looks like
it's a cancer sign.
Wasn't it twins?
No, it's the cancer.
Cancer, okay.
It's my sign.
Oh, okay. It does look like a 69, though, I'm just saying.
Yes, which is the cancer sign, which is awful, really. Yeah. Somehow that translates into a crab, which has to do with cancer. I don't fucking know.
Well, cancer is another name for...
In Swedish, we call
crayfish.
It crawfish.
Crawfish, yeah, exactly.
Crayfish, yeah.
That's what a cancer is. I think it's the Latin for crayfish, crawfish, whatever.
Probably.
Shellfish.
Still, I don't like it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So he starts trying to figure out what is going on here, and then randomly his girlfriend mentions oh oh, we're out here looking for something crazy in the swamp. So kind of reminds me of that time when we the last time we were on the swamp with our friends, we got stuck, remember? Ha ha ha. He's like, yeah, that was 99, right? I forgot about that. And that triggers a memory that
year was a drought.
That year was a drought. There's a drought now as well. That's how they're finding the pipe.
Yeah.
And that triggers a memory that, that his mom had a seizure in 99 as well, and she only has it like that seldomly, like once every few years.
That's when he starts making the connection that she only has seizures when there's a drought.
Which is that's where it's like reaching a little far immediately.
Yeah.
That's where it needed to take a little more time for him to figure it out.
The seizures, except for having a familiar or like a hereditary effect, that they have no point in the story.
That's the thing. He mentioned that his hand starts shaking. And she says, "Oh, like your mom's seizures."
Yeah,
maybe that's why they start thinking about it.
He's starting to have the seizures as well, but like mildly.
It's still a reach.
Yeah, it's a bit of a reach and a bit unnecessary.
Yeah. At the same time, after the big fight, at the same time, the big fight over at the house with Ellie and Anna and Celestia. Anna disappears. They're guessing she went after Ellie. But she went over to her friend's house and slept at her friend's house. She never saw Anna. So now there's a big search for her. And then there's a bunch of stuff happening. Blah 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 blah. At one point, Ellie finds the anomaly and comes back to the day
a month before.
A month before.
No, the day it happens first.
Yeah.
That's the thing. She comes back to the day it happens, like a day before, basically.
Yeah.
Or like a few hours before.
No, she sees them running around. She goes into the house. It's just the morning when they realize that Anna isn't at home anymore.
How long has she been gone by then? I don't remember.
She disappeared in the night because that's why the boat disappears the first time we see it. She took her own boat. The boat she came in. So now we're like, okay, this is a time thing. But at the same time, then cut back to Paris, Dylan O'Brien, and he's trying to figure out what this anomaly is. And as he's walking around there, he starts hearing a girl screaming.
Yes.
And he finds Anna.
So he finds out the passed out Anna from
2022.
2022 when this latest disappearance happened, because it turns out Anna has disappeared once before.
Yeah, a month earlier,
A month earlier, yes.
When they had their last fight. So he finds her.
So the Anna he finds is the one with the grey hoodie.
Yeah, and she's hurt. They never explain how she got hurt.
She probably tripped.
Yeah.
Or something. Because a lot of people trip in this movie when they're walking around in that area. So she probably tripped. So
he gets her out of the time anomaly, and at that point they've come out in 1952 as the dam
is starting to be built. The dam is just a landmark in this case, I guess. Yeah. To like reference time. Yes. Really.
Yeah. And it's also I think it could be symbolic that, because time flows as a river.
Yes.
But since you've dammed it up and the water is now stagnant, time is acting up. Yeah. And that's why in the end, when everything is fine now, we're okay with the thing, the dam breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's some symbolism there.
Probably.
I literally thought of that now as we were talking about it. But he gives her to some workers, like, oh, she's hurt, you have to take her to the hospital. This is 1952, and she's 8 years old. Yes. So then Ellie, she knows there's some time thing going on, but she keeps looking for Anna, and she ties a rope to the boat so she can walk in but still find her way out again to her point in time. And as she walks in, she ends up 1 month earlier. She finds Anna.
The first time we know of her running off and going to sleep at her friend's, when she disappeared for a night as well.
But what happens after that?
She brings that Anna
home
back to 2022 when the movie started.
Yeah.
So the second disappearance, so to speak.
Oh yeah, she walks in and we see the broken plates and everything.
Yeah,
and then she runs off because, oh my god, and she tries to go back to her time, but then the rope snaps. No, that's later. That's later.
But
she ends up in 2005.
Yes, which is where Paris is. That's his original timeline.
Yes, we eventually find out that his part of the story has been taking place in 2005. So she thinks she's back because it's pretty, I mean, modern everything. But then she sees the sign like vote for sheriff, whatever. It says November, like, 2005.
2005.
So then she starts looking for Anna in that time, even though she would be she
imagines that if she ended up in this timeline, she would have still gone to somewhere familiar.
Oh, right, because she's looking for the latest. She's looking for the latest Anna. So
she doesn't know that Paris is taking the latest Anna to 1952.
Exactly.
She thinks she's probably in 2005 as well, somewhere. Again, it looks similar enough because things don't change around these parts.
In 20 years, yeah.
Yeah. So she's like, okay, she's probably gone to the supermarket. We always meet up after school or something, you know?
And there, in the parking lot of the supermarket, when she doesn't find her, she runs into a single mom, or she sees a car.
She sees a car that has
in the rearview mirror
necklace
has the necklace, the cancer
that
necklace
Anna wears
hanging in the rearview mirror. So she grabs that, and then some woman is like, "Hey, you're trying to steal my car. What are you doing?" And she's like, "How did you get my sister's necklace?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "What are you talking about? This is my necklace, you know."
And then she explains, "No, it's the guy on the posters. It's his mom, Anna Lang. It's her necklace.
Oh yeah,
but it's mine now." When she looks at the poster, makes a connection, going, Lang, Anna,
and she's holding a little baby, and she calls the baby Ellie, and she's like,
Ellie.
"What did you call that baby?" And
that's when she goes, "That's me."
Yeah, she runs off to a.
This is my dad.
She runs off to an internet cafe
Anna?
and looks up Anna Lang.
Yeah.
Realizes that there was an Anna Lang, born in the early 40s, or late 40s. Well,
she doesn't look up when she's born. She finds out when she went to school.
Yeah.
As an 8-year-old.
And she sees a picture from the mid 50s of her little sister. She has the picture of her sister. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's, oh my God, she went to school in 1950s, and she reads the whole story of her growing up and becoming a teacher herself, having a son,
meeting Ben, and having a son named
Paris.
What did I write? Yeah, I wrote the wrong name on my chart here. I made a little chart as we spoke. And I wrote O'Brien instead of Paris.
But then of course, she dies in a car accident because she has seizures, because she is still, she's in the wrong timeline, so it probably keeps affecting her.
Yeah.
Even though she doesn't go into the area in Caddo Lake, it still affects her because she's in the wrong timeline. So she dies. Her son...
Is that when they only get the seizures? When they're in the wrong timeline?
Yeah, when they're in the anomaly, it's when they get the seizures. And I guess they're not in their timeline when
they don't have it when they're in the original timeline. Yeah. No, that's true.
Yeah.
Hey, so that's the reason for the seizures. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Whenever time shifts, when you hear the banging in the forest,
that's which is the explosions from the dam build.
When there's a drought.
Yeah.
Because that's when time fucks up. And that's when she gets the seizures. Whenever there's a drought, she has seizures.
Yeah. Because that's when the anomaly pops up. Yeah.
But, so she dies in 2005.
Yes.
And her son, becomes he becomes depressed, and he
disappears on his girlfriend.
He disappears on his girlfriend, and then eventually starts talking about he thinks he's figured it out, and then completely disappears. Just as they're about to rekindle their relationship, and they had sex, and she got pregnant. So now she's looking for him, but he's been gone. He's gone.
Because he accidentally ended up in 2022.
He walked into the time anomaly and ended up in 2022, where he then finds his dad, because his dad is sick. We see that in the...
Yeah, he's sick already in 2005.
Yeah. So it's so convoluted. He gets into Anna's boat because, of course, Anna's boat is the only one showing up because of time anomalies and everything. So the cops capture him like, "Hey, you have the little girl's boat. You're the freako that grabbed her, huh?" Like, no.
Yeah, exactly.
He ends up in the hospital because he tries to escape and crashes the boat. So he ends up in the hospital, escapes again because like, I need to get back. Everything is fine. Because at that point, he figured out who his mom was, right? But I don't remember how. Because it says everything is fine, didn't he?
I think he realizes somehow that the girl I don't fucking know how he understands. No, I don't get it. I don't know how he understands it. I don't remember that.
I'm trying to think. Because the thing is, when he is...
Oh, no, because he sees the news things on the TV in the hospital.
Yeah. And they mention Anna Lang.
He sees the little girl being missing, Anna Lang. He's like, Anna Lang?
That's my mom's
And
name.
he's realized that he's in another time. So he's like, oh. I think he makes a connection to the girl, even though he doesn't know what her name, but he knows what she looks like, and they show the picture.
Yeah, and that was a girl
like,
he rescued and dropped her off in 1952.
Anna in the 50s.
So she must grow up to be my mom, because they have the same name.
Yeah, exactly.
And he realizes it's a time thing, yeah. So he realizes that his dad is in that hospital now, 20 years after, he's been getting sicker and sicker. So he visits his dad and says, like, everything's fine. I found mom. She's fine. Or she was fine. It's because she's dead now.
Yeah, but like it makes sense. Sort of.
He can come back now because he is, he's done. He's
found his peace.
He doesn't have to search anymore. Yeah, so he runs off again, jumps into the lake after a short car chase, because he steals a car. Turns out that was the car of
Daniel, Anna's dad.
Yeah, the 2022 Celeste and Daniel,
and
which is of course his old girlfriend. That's why she looks so when she sees him.
She's like, wait,
is that you? Is that Paris?
After all this time?
Yeah.
He even says Paris, like vaguely in the background.
Yeah, like wait, as he drives away.
Yeah.
So he stops on the dam.
The dam, yeah. The new highway on top of the dam.
Yeah, jumps into the water. To like have to get back. If I get back to, because it's in the lake, so you can just swim from there, I suppose.
Yeah.
But of course, since everything is right now, so to speak, the dam breaks, which
is something they've been talking about in the background throughout the movie. That it needs repairs, and they don't have the funding for it. They're afraid it's gonna break if it starts raining too much, and it starts raining.
And then he drowns because of the waves, the sudden rush of water. He drowns.
Yes.
But then Ellie comes home to her mom. Anna is still missing in this timeline in 2022. But Ellie knows that she somehow survived in 1952. And she had more or less a full life.
And technically that's the weird part about timeline and time travel. Where is she supposed to be? Because if she never ended up in 1952, Ellie wouldn't exist.
Yeah. And that's why when she talks to her, because when she comes back, she's found by the sheriff and her stepdad, Daniel. Yeah. And she mentions that in the beginning she says like, oh, these people are not my family. They're like your new husband and his people. I don't care. But
exactly. We're not blood related.
Yeah, but then she realized that they are technically related.
He's her great grandpa.
Yeah. But wait, how was that connected?
See, okay, I made my little charter. It's kind of small, so I'm not going to show it on screen because it doesn't make sense. Yeah. If you put Anna in the middle, her dad is Daniel. That's her biological dad.
Yes.
Paris is Anna's biological son.
Oh, shit! Yes! No, I get it. Okay, I get it.
So Daniel is Anna's dad, Paris is grandpa, Ellie's great-grandpa.
Yeah, but through time travel.
but through time
So
travel.
they are
technically
technically related, which is
because
is it
the 2022 Anna has in some point, because this I'm assuming this is like, where there's parallel timelines.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this wouldn't work. At some point, the first time in 2022, Anna goes back to 1952.
Yes.
But she's still Daniel's daughter, even though she travels back in time.
She's an orphan in 1952, but she is Daniel's
Exactly.
daughter.
Then she lives a full life from 1952
to
up until 2005 when she dies.
Something like that, yeah.
Somewhere in between that, she meets Ben, has Paris.
Yeah.
Paris meets Celeste, accidentally has Ellie.
Yeah.
And that's how Daniel then, who marries his Celeste, Ellie's mother, is her great grandpa.
Right, because
like I could try and show you my little
Daniel
chart.
is Ellie's grandpa.
No, Daniel is Paris's grandpa.
Right, sorry. So it's his great grandpa, her great grandpa.
Yeah, so he's Ellie's great grandpa, but also her stepdad.
Yes. Isn't that? I'm not sure. I'm getting some like time travel incest here, but is there any?
Technically, no, because Celeste and Daniel are not related.
Right.
So Celeste is technically, she's just like, I made this. This is very, very shoddy. I don't even know if it can pick up the lighting, and it's also probably mirrored. Nah, I can't pick it up. I'll send you a picture or something.
Sure.
Because Celeste is completely separate through bloodline, except for being Ellie's mom. She's not related to Anna or Daniel in any way.
No, exactly.
Which is fine then.
Right. Yeah.
The dotted lines are marriage. The solid lines are blood.
Okay.
Do you get it?
All right, because Anna and Ben, they marry
and have
Paris. Daniel was Anna's dad, and he married Celeste.
Yeah. But Celeste and Daniel
Paris,
don't have any... They don't have any children, illegitimate child.
But Celeste and Paris had Ellie, right?
Yes.
So in a roundabout way, they are family,
Yes, but it's not ancestral in any way.
No, you're right. I wonder how much time did they spend on that? Like, let's make sure we don't create time travel incest.
Yeah, but they solved it by simply adding, like, making sure that the main characters were all connected by one parent.
Yes, Anna. Anna is the link. She's the link between all of them, right? What is
the weird part, I guess, is that Anna lived her entire life from 8 years old up until she died. We don't know how old she was when she died.
Well, 52, and I think she died in like 2002, 2003. She's been dead for a couple of years when the movie starts, and we know that's 2005.
Yeah.
So somewhere around there. So she must have been 52. That means
she does. Yeah, that's true. Ellie does the calculations somewhere.
Yeah, so she's like in her late 50s, early 60s, I suppose.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So she's lived her entire life, basically.
Yeah.
From the 50s, even though she was born in, like, 2015 or something. That's so weird.
Yeah.
I wonder how she never figured out that she could just go into the swamp and go back.
That's the thing, though. And I think, once again, that's where the character-driven stuff, where the drama comes in. Because, once again, all these people who end up in different timelines, what are they doing? They're searching for something. Because something happened in their past where they, they have survivor's guilt, or they feel guilt because they've abandoned their family, or, whatever.
Yeah.
They're searching for something. Anna, while, obviously she must have felt very strange in the beginning when she woke up in 1952 and was like, wait a minute.
In the hospital.
Where's my family?
Where am I? What is this?
Yeah. She eventually, though, we know, because we see, because there's a GeoCities website about her life that I guess she made herself for. No, maybe someone made because she died.
No, it's through the schools. It's through school books, yearbooks.
Yeah, but we see there's like a website about her as well. But either it doesn't matter. People had weird websites about themselves back in the early 2000s.
Sure. That's
WebCities, Angel Fire, all that stuff.
Yeah, that's true, I guess.
She at some point they gloss over that, so you kind of have to get there yourself. But at some point she just accepts that, like, okay, I guess my childhood is a mystery. Maybe I hit my head. I mean, obviously she was unconscious. Maybe she was in a coma, and like maybe I dreamt those years or whatever.
Yeah.
But we see that we see throughout the yearbooks and everything that she lived a very fulfilling life.
Yes.
She graduated high school. She met the love of her life. She got her she went to college. She had her degree and became a teacher. She
had a family.
She had a family, a loving family where everyone was so happy. All the kids at school loved her. She had no reason. She didn't. She was fine.
She didn't need to find something.
She wasn't looking for anything.
No.
She was good
also, when
with
she
where
disappears, she's running away from a fight.
Yeah.
From a fight in her family. So she's obviously distraught. And then waking up where people are caring about her, maybe that helps.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And they're like,
I'm happy here. Why would I?
Your head. Like, okay. And she just accepted it. And
I wonder if she spent her first years in school going like, but cell phones.
Yeah. That's the kind of thing, where there's a bit of plot hole there. Why was that never, questioned? We don't see it, though. Maybe they didn't. Maybe she spent, like, a year talking to a therapist and, like, no, exactly. You're a woman. You're hysteric. Calm down. And slapped her around, maybe. You don't know.
You just dreamt it.
Exactly.
Stop it.
Stop being a woman.
What are aliens and future things?
Yeah, exactly. But once...
Alien abduction.
Yeah. But once again... I'm screaming too much. At the end, though, when Ellie realizes this, that, oh, my little sister, whatever, through marriage, she lived a full life. We don't get to be with her and love her here, but at least we know that she was safe. She didn't disappear.
She
didn't
happy.
Die. She was happy, yeah. They stopped.
She didn't die alone out in the swamps.
Exactly.
Which was what their main fear was, basically.
And at that point, that's when they hug. The mom she obviously doesn't really understand what she's saying, but cause in her mind, it's just like, she's safe. Even if we don't find her, I know she's safe, Ellie says.
Yeah.
Kind of reassuring the mom that we'll keep looking, but, you don't have to worry anymore.
She does show the mom the school picture.
Oh, right, she does.
But the thing is, by that point, she has seen younger Paris, the one that disappeared when he was, in 2005. So she's like, wait, he looks exactly the same as when he disappeared. Something's wrong, obviously.
Yeah, so she must have...
And then Anna disappears. She's probably having questions, but once Ellie starts explaining it, which she doesn't do in the movie, she's probably going to go like, what, fuck it makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, and all you need to know is...
It explains why he left me without actually leaving me. It explains how Anna disappeared, but she's still... happy and gets to live a full life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So at that point, they're not looking anymore.
No.
Both of them stop looking as well, and you can see them. They reconcile, and you can see that that's the beginning on the path towards healing.
Exactly.
The only one who doesn't get that really is Paris.
Yes.
Even though he says to his dad, like, but I'm done. I'm okay. I found mom. She's fine. Or she was fine, or whatever, So I'm coming home now.
The only thing he wants to do is to go home to 2005 and maybe make a real life with Celeste.
Yeah. And
then future Ellie.
Yeah. But that's where the dam breaks, and he,
drowns.
He drowns. I guess you can see it as like a heroic sacrifice, even though it's not deliberate.
Yeah. Also, maybe he needs to die for the time loop to work.
Yeah.
Because he needs to end up in
'cause if he doesn't disappear
1952 with Anne.
Yeah, because if he doesn't disappear, then
to
Celeste won't meet Daniel, and Anna and Ellie.
But Anna would still exist.
Yeah, but Anna and Ellie
she won't run away.
Exactly.
That's true.
So he had to disappear in 2005.
Yeah, otherwise Anna wouldn't have a reason to disappear and end up in 1952.
Exactly.
Time travel movies. I love them and hate them at the same time.
Yeah. No, but this one worked, where time travel worked as a vessel to tell more of a emotional story about broken families. I think it worked pretty well.
Yes.
I'm sure if you really look into it, there's a bunch of plot
loopholes or plot holes or whatever.
But I mean, that's every time travel story.
Yeah, because you need to okay, so there's but this moment in time is always going to repeat itself no matter what timeline you're looking at. Like, yes, there are always key features. There are always key moments that happen the exact same way in all timelines. Whatever. Yeah. Let's not get into that.
And that's kind of actually that's not the point. Mm-hmm. This is just a storytelling tool. They're not trying to solve time travel.
And there's no, like you said, there's no major loophole or plot hole here.
No.
That makes it not make sense. It actually kind of makes sense. So fine, let's leave it at that.
I agree.
I thought it was very innovative in how they managed to weave them all together without breaking it somehow.
Yeah.
And despite kind of figuring out one of the parts, I did not figure out Anna until, Ellie sat down at the coffee shop.
Yeah, that part I didn't even...
I was like...
Yeah, I didn't figure that
out. Oh, shit!
I understood that they were connected somehow because I had my suspicions that the two redheads were the same person, but I wasn't sure really until we saw that.
But the weird thing is that there's the Anna from the month before
from 2020
is the one who lives. She's missing a month of her life forever.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because she went into the future a month and just kept on living.
No.
Because she ends up back in 2002 at...
No.
Well, no, that's true. She's brought back right after that fight.
The Anna who disappeared the month before gets returned the month before.
Right, that's true.
Because they're picking up
and Ellie walks back and ends up back in the right timeline somehow.
Yeah.
Also, there's this tiny detail that I had to look up. There's not a lot of trivia on this one.
No.
But you remember that severed crocodile in the beginning of the movie?
Yeah, they pointed that out, that it was actually the rope that Ellie used to trying to get back.
No, but it's the same. The alligator was just in the anomaly when it cut off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it got stuck in between.
Yeah, so it just got cut off.
All right. Yeah.
Which is just a weird little detail.
It's a nice little foreshadowing. Some weird's going on. Yeah. Time shit.
I didn't make that connection at all.
No, I mean, because it was such a little thing. Something weird's happening.
I almost forgot about that.
Then you kind of forget about it.
Alligator.
It's literally the second scene of the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And they never talk about the alligator again.
No.
I think we're gonna wrap it up there.
Yes. I want to say though that I would recommend this movie to basically anyone.
I guess we didn't say that.
It's not scary. It's not gory. It's mysterious and maybe a little bit confusing. But I think it's simple enough to be able to explain it in the end if someone still doesn't really get it.
Yeah. In the end, it makes enough sense for you to be for the emotions
satisfied.
to be emotionally satisfied. I was going to say, when Ellie explains to her mom that Anna is safe, she's fine, and they start, and she showed her the picture and everything. And they hug because they realize she's safe, just not with us. I choked up a little bit because it was very satisfying.
It felt relieving almost.
I was like, that's so nice. And now they're happy again because they don't have to search anymore. They found each other.
And that probably prompted them to stop fighting over whatever. Because Ellie's not mad at mom for making her dad disappear or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
And maybe mom can now understand that, I don't have to be ashamed that my boyfriend ran away from us because he didn't mean it. He didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah, exactly. It's nice. Very cathartic. Nice. Very nice.
Yes.
So yeah, this if we're going to do clips of this, I'm going to have to find some other clips because this is literally 2 clips. It's the spoiler-free section, and then the whole thing is just us discussing the timelines.
Yeah,
there's no clips in there.
No.
Maybe I'll do explaining the Caddo Lake timeline, parts 1, 2, 3. I could do that.
Could be.
Anyway, that's it. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks so much for watching. If you're watching YouTube, make sure to leave a like and hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment if you watched Caddo Lake. I hope you did. I was rooting for you. What did you think? Did the time travel work out, or is this actually completely wrong and full of plot holes? Actually,
or did we miss something and mess it up?
Exactly. Either way, I hope you enjoyed the episode, and we'll be back next week with something. We're not sure yet.
We don't have a plan yet.
But the Patreon for this week is gonna be with Salem's Lot, right?
We mentioned it. I don't know if we decided on it, so we'll see.
We'll see. But until next time, have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
The Spoilercast is part of Please Don't Make a Scene. It's hosted by Tobias Vedén and Rebecca Vedén. Produced and directed by Tobias Vedén. Executive producer is Annika Vedén. I also want to give a big shout out to all our patrons. Mom and Mac, Laura Kinney, Daniel Elgaiso, Christopher Belén, Mom, Dad, CK85, and Jacob.